What if I told you that the luxury car brand synonymous with speed and prestige was built by a man who designed tanks for Hitler? That the same engineer who created the iconic Volkswagen Beetle also developed weapons of war that killed thousands? This is the disturbing history of Porsche, a story of genius, betrayal, and redemption that the company doesn't want you to know. Behind the sleek curves and roaring engines of every Porsche lies a dark secret. Today, we're diving deep into the controversial past of Ferdinand Porsche, from brilliant innovator to Nazi collaborator, and how his family transformed a tainted legacy into one of the world's most coveted automotive brands. Our story begins in 1875 in a small village in the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Ferdinand Porsche wasn't supposed to become a car legend. He was meant to follow his father into blacksmithing. But when young Ferdinand discovered electricity, everything changed. By age 18, he was already building electric generators and installing light bulbs throughout his family home. His father finally recognized his son's extraordinary talent and let him pursue engineering. This decision would reshape the automotive world forever. In 1898, Ferdinand built his first automobile, the Porsche P1. It was fully electric with a 49-mile range, capable of 21 miles per hour. But here's what's incredible. By 1900, he had created the world's first gasoline-electric hybrid car. We're talking about hybrid technology over 120 years ago. Ferdinand quickly became the automotive world's golden boy. Working for Austro-Daimler, he designed the Model 27/80, an 85-horsepower beast that dominated the 1910 Prince Henry trial, taking first, second, and third place. After World War I, he created the Austro-Daimler Sascha, winning 43 out of 53 races. Then came his masterpiece at Mercedes-Benz, the SSK Supersport. With 300 horsepower and speeds reaching 200. Here's where our story takes a dark turn. Ferdinand's new company, Porsche GmbH, was struggling. The Great Depression had crushed demand for luxury cars. Then, in 1933, a letter arrived that would change everything, and it came from Adolf Hitler. Hitler had a vision, a car for every German citizen. It had to seat 5 people, be fuel-efficient, and cost just 990 Reichsmarks, an impossible price point. He called it the Volkswagen, the people's car. Ferdinand saw opportunity where others saw impossibility. He designed what would become the Volkswagen Beetle, one of history's most successful cars. But this partnership came with a terrible price. When World War II erupted, Ferdinand was pulled into Nazi military projects. He designed the Steinmann military vehicle, tank destroyers, and even V-1 flying bombs. His factory used slave labor. Prisoners of war worked to death under horrific conditions. The company that had started with dreams of transportation for all had become a cog in Hitler's war machine. When the war ended, Ferdinand was arrested by French authorities for war crimes. His 22 months in prison, under terrible conditions, destroyed his health and would eventually kill him. But his son Ferry refused to let the Porsche name die in disgrace. To bail out his father, Ferry designed the groundbreaking Cisitalia 360 for an Italian manufacturer. The payment freed Ferdinand, but the damage was done. With his father too ill to work, Ferry took control. In 1948, he introduced the Porsche 356. the first car to bear the family name. It wasn't the fastest or most powerful, but it was reliable, beautiful, and it won races. Ferdinand lived just long enough to see his son's success before dying in 1951 at age 75. Ferry's son Butzi would create Porsche's most iconic model, the 911. Launched in 1964, it featured a revolutionary rear-mounted air-cooled engine that delivered unmatched performance and reliability. Over 70% of all 911s ever built are still on the road today. The 911 dominated racetracks worldwide, winning Monte Carlo 3 consecutive times and cementing Porsche's reputation as the ultimate sports car manufacturer. But even legends face extinction. By 1993, Porsche was selling just 14,000 cars annually and hemorrhaging money. The company made a controversial decision that shocked purists. They would build an SUV. The Cayenne launched in 2002 to massive criticism. How could Porsche, maker of pure sports cars, build a family SUV? But the Cayenne saved the company, becoming their best seller and proving that innovation sometimes requires betraying tradition. Today, Porsche stands as one of the world's most prestigious automotive brands. But this success story began with a man who made a deal with the devil, whose pursuit of engineering excellence led him down history's darkest path. Ferdinand Porsche's legacy reminds us that genius and morality don't always align, and that sometimes the greatest brands rise from the ashes of their founders' worst decisions. The next time you see that iconic Porsche crest, remember, behind every legend lies a truth the world would rather forget.